The problem I see myself in all the discussion we have in WEF, be it on soil, on water, and food, is that we are putting the burden on the farmer. So I say it as a scientist that really regenerative agriculture is the way forward. No doubt about it. But it's not one model. It's about hundreds of models, different bundles of technologies. Yes. But we need to help the farmer through funding those 5 first years, because the yield will go down, and the farm cannot afford it. So we need to find systems, and I'm very happy here we have a president, we have a minister. We need to find public philanthropy, private sector mechanisms to help the transition. And maybe the best way to do it is to really look at the energy, the just transition we did in energy. Let's do a just transition in agri-food system or in food, land, and water systems.
Great. Thank you so much. We're heading towards the end now. I'd like to, by the way, ask you all one final question, so I'll give you time to think about it. If you could just one sentence, I think we should, ... or I recommend we, ... But before that, Molly, I think when people listen to your technology, they think, wow, that sounds incredible. And I can imagine 50 years from now us all doing what you're doing. But it doesn't sound like we're quite ready for that in many parts of the world. I know you've been thinking also about sort of how your technology could interact with regular agriculture, so to speak. Do you want to just say a word about that? Because it's not binary, it's not regular agriculture or vertical agriculture. I think there's sort of some kind of combination.
Yes, there definitely is. I think vertical farming can be very...
It's on.
I think it's on.
I think vertical farming can be very complementary to outdoor farming. Let me try to bring this to life through a quick example. I've heard a lot this week in the sessions I've attended about rice production and how critical it is to the diet around the world. But rice is grown in typically tropical environments, which aren't really conducive to growing nutritious greens. But what if in those same communities we could erect a vertical farm that would not take up much land, but would actually give them a way to provide their local region with microgreens that they've never had before. And the most important reason to do this is the nutritional element. Because microgreens are so highly nutritious, 5 to 40 times more nutritious than their more mature vegetable counterpart. This starts to combine with rice to give an extremely balanced diet. And by the way, in vertical farming, you still need growers.
Yeah.
So we would love the expertise of the farmers in that community to also help within the vertical farming sector. So.
Wonderful. Yes. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So let's just go down the row now. Give us one recommendation that would really excite you over the next couple of years. Maybe start with you, Molly.
I think a larger collaboration between the private and the public sector, because I think that could be the magic that we need to really create action. That could really accelerate a lot of these solutions we need to face these challenges that we have, and I think it's definitely possible.
Great, thank you. Let's see, Ibrahim.
We have always taken land and soil for granted, and we have always extracted, and the mindset of extraction has always been in us. It is about time that we shift that to a management mindset, because this resource is not infinite. Thank you very much. Smahan.
I think we need to invest more in science and innovation. I think we should get to a minimum of 3% of GDP in science and innovation, because that's how we're going to find the new solutions. And I think that goes to all countries, not only high-income countries. Low-income countries should also invest, because those solutions should be everywhere, and every ecosystem might come with things that could be really beneficial for all. So invest in science and innovation.
Thank you. And finally, Minister.
We must take the science and innovation and the evidence-led discourse and translate it into policies that can then ensure sustainable farming, and policies and laws that are measured not on their sentiments but on their outcomes.
Well done. Thank you. Round of applause. Now we have, oh yes.
Can I just one small comment? Vertical farming is not...
Do you want just to, could we give you a microphone, Mr. President? There we go.
Vertical farming is good for producing what we need, but it's not related to desertification. Our problem is desertification because it is the cause of climate change, and it is because of land is left unfarmed. So vertical, I welcome it, the idea of producing food by vertical food products, but that doesn't solve the desertification at all.
I want to be very clear with my message. Europe stays the course, and we stand ready to work with all global actors to accelerate the transition to clean energy. The world is moving faster than ever towards clean energy. Last year alone, global spending on clean energy hit a record of $2 trillion. For every dollar invested in fossil fuels, you had $2 invested in renewable energy. And the power sector, clean energy investments outnumber fossil fuel by 10 to 1. So this is a shift we've been working towards for years. And it was confirmed when we all collectively set bold targets, as you mentioned, at COP28. We said we will triple renewable energy and we will double energy efficiency by 2030. It is evident the clean energy transition is happening and it is there to stay. And this is not only good news for the planet, this is also good news for innovation. It is good news for energy independence because this is homegrown energy, so it creates good jobs at home. It's good for the economic competitiveness, and last but certainly not least, it lowers energy bills, so it's good for households and businesses. Now, despite this progress, two big challenges I want to address. First, not everyone is part of this global clean energy transition. If you look at the African continent, for example, it is a continent with huge potential, as we all know, holding 60% of the world's best solar resources, yet it currently gets less than 2% of the global clean energy investments. 600 million people on the continent still lack access to electricity. This is not only unacceptable, it is also unfair. And that is why, together with President Ramaphosa and global citizens, we launched the global campaign, Scale Up Renewables for Africa. The goal is very simple: bring clean energy to the communities that need it most, not only in Africa, but across the globe. My second point, we are not moving fast enough. It's also about scaling up manufacturing. Every region must be able to produce the technologies it needs. It's about grids, building or upgrading 25 million kilometers of them by 2030. It's about storage, developing the capacity to keep the lights on if the wind is not blowing or the sun is not shining. All this demands massive investments. And no company, no country, and no region can do this alone. We must work together, and we must act now. And this is why today we launch the Global Energy Transition Forum. We're bringing together partners from all over the world, from Brazil to the UK, the United Arab Emirates, to Kenya, South Africa, Canada, and many others, and many more to come. We have set ourselves 3 goals. First, we have to sustain the momentum of our historic global energy agreement. So these global energy targets must find their way in the next wave of nationally determined contributions, the famous NDCs. We need to turn collective promises into measurable progress. So let me give you an example. In Europe, for example, we've raised our renewable target for 2030 to over 42%. Today, we are at 23%, so it's lots of good and hard work